Hey everybody, we're live. Wilson's got to see if he can find me. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone. Hey, it's Whiskey Wednesday. I've had a busy day. How about you? I could use one of these. This is my first one tonight. I ain't even waiting for y'all to say Whiskey Wednesday or DIY or whatever we say. Can't remember what we say. We're gonna paint something tonight. What'd I do with it? I did a practice run. Since I said we were gonna paint something on the porch, I decided to paint the porch. So I just quickly did this. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I just quickly scribbled something on here. And hey, Cindy from CNC DIY Factory. So we're gonna paint that. Isn't that fun? We're gonna paint it on this big board. So this one is square and this one's rectangle. So it's gonna look a little different. I'm gonna have to get a little bit different brush because my other one was, oh, I forgot a big brush too. Because we gotta paint the back. So while you're all getting in here, I'm gonna paint the back real quick. So you can, no, you can't see it. I gotta let you in to see this. We're gonna paint the back. This was painted in Eden for some project that I had. Why don't I switch the camera? No, I don't want them to watch the little square. So now we're on the big square. So now you can kind of see that a little bit of what I did quickly paint. And we're gonna paint this in a blue.
I can't even quickly describe these thick figure.
I seriously, Cindy, in like, I don't know, it was probably 10 minutes. I scribbled that down. And it was just a thought. So just a thought I'm like, I couldn't figure out, okay, what are we going to paint on that porch? Because I said we wanted to do something gardenish. And I'm like, okay, we can do that. So we're going to add a little bit of liquid sunshine, and then a little bit of blue iris, which should give us a little bit of green down here. Oh, you're welcome, Elin. And then we're going to, I got to get more white up here. We're going to use my paint blade with a little bit of blue. So I just got some paint here. Now let's mix the two together. So we got kind of like a, whoa, this is going to be annoying. Listen, we found me. Actually, I got this book over here that I read. We got to put that on something because that could get annoying. We're going to spritz it with a little water to move that paint around a little bit. I'll read comments while this dries. So there's kind of a fun background. I have some textured wallpaper I'm going to put on here. Okay. You probably can't see that very well, but I'll pick it up in a minute. I'll turn this off. There's still a glare on it. I don't know, ever since we changed to StreamYard, we get a glare. And the Bert says out of focus. Bert, I hope it gets better. Do you see it out of focus, Wilson? Okay. Hopefully it's better for you, Bert. So, why, oh why does that camera have such a glare? Oh, they're so light then. Right there, you can see some of that texture. And that's from pushing the wallpaper into, this is a textured wallpaper. I used to sell this on my website. Cindy, hopefully I got rid of the glare. I don't know why that. Hey, Judy. My cord now fell. Jeez, I'm having a day, guys. Let's start over. DIY. Okay, let's see what we got from YouTube. Michelle is here from Michigan. Welcome, Michelle. Wilson has been talking to Cindy. Gert is saying hi to Wilson and I. Wilson, Gert says hi. And she also says DIY. Okay, good. Hey, Carol. Thank you, Cindy. DIY times 2, because I'm having a bad day. Wilson was reading Elaine's comments. Gert said out of focus, but she said it was better now. Stacy, Northern Michigan, says DIY. I need all the DIYs tonight I can get. Judy, I think Wilson read Judy's for DIY also. I do. Gert says DIY, excellent. Bobby, did you get Bobby's?
DIY Bobby.
All right, Bobby. Welcome, welcome. Oh boy, I better be careful what I wish for.
I told you.
And woo, we got a lot of DIYs happening. This is going to be empty in no time, and we got to paint a house with a porch on it. It might look like an old fallen down house. And I'm okay if that's not quite dry.
Thank you, Lori. DIY back too.
All right. So I need to put my spectacles on because now we need to get serious. My whatnot was pretty slow, but it was only a half an hour show, so I was okay with that. It did okay. We are going to use a larger size brush tonight. I think we're going to use this one. So I'm going to paint loose. I painted this in like 20 minutes. 10, 20 minutes, something like that. This was just a rough sketch. So I don't know if it's going to look like this. And what I'm going to do with this, because I really do like it, is I'm going to put it in this book right here that I'm leaning on. So this book I bought at Goodwill Bins for a sketchbook of my paintings. And why I didn't paint in there is beyond me. But I picked up that piece of music sheet, and so now I'm going to decoupage it onto the front page. And it's going to be our back porch collection. So there's something brewing with the back porch. In case you haven't figured out all my clues, I got something brewing. It's coming. But I'm going to put this in the front of the book. So we're going to paint the house. And I was going to paint it blue. And now I'm not so sure because I have the blue background. Where's my color wheel? Yellow house and what windows? Oh, well, we could do that. Wilson, you're brilliant. Wilson is brilliant. We're going to go with a yellow house on this one because Wilson said can't go wrong with a yellow house. So it's going to be a pale yellow house, but it's going to be a yellow house. And I got to make sure this is somewhat dry. I was going to sketch it out with a pencil, but with it not being dry, we're going to sketch it out. We're going to sketch it out with paint. Okay, guys? Woo! Let's be brave. Let's be brave with all these DIYs. Okay, so the porch is going to be on this side. When we bought our house, it had a front porch on it. And it was kind of like this square box, which is where my mind went. This rectangular box. We've since added on. So that is kind of where our house is. And then the back porch is about right there, or the front porch on this one, actually. There's the back post. There's another post. This post is in front here, so it goes a little longer. And then there's the railing. And we're going to put this post right up here towards the front. This one is in back. And if you look at our house, we have a big window right here. We're just going to sketch these in. I should have sketched. And then we have a kitchen window. And then we have 2 upstairs bedrooms. All right, that's our house right now. Well, no, not right now. So we actually don't need those windows right now. I should have sketched around with them. But we're going to do this whole thing in yellow. And then we're going to come in with white. Okay, I'm going fast here, guys, because this is a loose painting. See how I'm holding my brush way on the end? All right. We're going to add a little bit more yellow to that. And then going to have some fake siding, a siding look to it. So my stripes are going to go this way. Am I mesmerizing everybody? So this is just a really quick sketch. Nothing fancy going on here. Now we're going to go back in with white on this porch. Our railing's got to be white because it's going to be a yellow house with a white porch. And it's okay if some of that yellow shines through. That post goes all the way down. Okay. How's it look? Nobody talking. We don't even have it. Oh, we do have someone from YouTube. Hello from Spokane, Washington. Yahoo Whiskey Wednesday. Yes. Whiskey Wednesday DIY. So now we're going to go in with yellow. Is the only else yellow?
It was.
I know. I just don't remember it being yellow. Thank you, Lisa. Okay. So when I painted our windows in there, we have way too many. So we're going to go with this design right here. So we're going to paint a window up here. We're going in with weathered wood. And then just two longer windows. What do you call these windows there, window factory guy? Well, what are we, the awnings, casements? What are they? Oh, they're double hung. That's what they are. They're double hung. Okay. With ropes and chains. Oh, weights and ropes. Whatever. All right, now we're going to do the roof of the porch. And then we got to add a highlight to the front of this roof line. All right. How's that looking? Okay, we're going to let some of that dry while we move on to, let's do a roof line on the house. We're gonna do that in brown also, but we'll have to put some water with my brown. A little on the stiff side. We're gonna go back to our Connie lines this time. I lost my highlight, so I got to put that back in. And then filter that roof back. Then we'll highlight some of this roof line on that side where the sun is coming in. So if the sun were shining from that way, that would make these windows lighter on this side. All really, really fast. This is sketchbook painting, guys. Sketchbook painting. Do I have anyone else? It looks like we have Michelle says looks good so far. And then Marla says, hi, Connie. I'm sorry I'm late. DIY. You're not late, Marla. DIY. Okay. We have to do Connie lines before I can move on to the flowers. The flowers are the stealer of the show. They really make the image look good. So we have to just give them a little bit. I'm going to rinse out my brushes. They're not completely rinsed out, but they're pretty good. Okay. I think we can move on to a few of the Connie lines. So I'm going to get out my little black dress. Right here. And I don't have much left, but I'm making it work. It just gets really thick. So that means more water. Because it's DIY paint and you can thin it down with water. Listen needs to mix that drink. Told you I was thirsty. It's been a long day. All right, I have my really big brush. And I always start on this side of my painting, and I got to teach myself to start on this side so I don't put my hand in it. So we're going to start over here. And our columns are just kind of normal columns. They're not fancy. We're going to add a little bit of shadowing to these columns. My paint's too thick. Not moving. Probably wouldn't be able to see through that railing. You'd probably be able to see on the other side of that railing what was back there, but we're not doing that. Those flowers are going to cover that all up. Okay. Now I'm getting out my other little brush. I'm going to get some white paint. Put a little bit of black in it, and then bring some of those shadows down on underneath that roof line to give that a little shadow look. Oh, you guessed it. Wilson sneezing. Can't ever get through a live without him sneezing. Especially he mowed lawn today, so. Okay, these are gonna really have some shadows on them. Whoops, this one was supposed to go all the way to the top. That back one back there. It's gonna go over the railing. There's one back there. This one's gonna be lighter. I'll have to wait for some of that to dry. That's the one back there. All right, I don't know if you can see that shadow or not. Can I bring it closer? How's that? I have to remember when we do the flowers. What do we got? Patty says, good evening, all DIY from Minnesota. I love a big porch. Loving the yellow. That was Wilson's idea to do the yellow. Thank you. Oh, Elaine said, bless you, Wilson. And Lisa sprinkled. Thanks, guys. Okay, we gotta whiten up this front porch railing with just some white. Make it stand out. All right. And this side is already kind of shadowed right here. It would be more highlighted in the front there. Same with that side. I feel like my camera must be crooked. Hang on, my painter's tape is wearing. My painter's tape is not holding my camera straight. So it's giving you a goofy view. There. We're gonna go with that. Okay, let's add some more funny lines to the rest of the house. So there's going to be the funny lines on the roof. Hey, Tara, welcome, welcome. Thank you. There's something brewing about my porch, guys. It's coming soon. So I'm kind of hinting about it, if you haven't noticed. I've been hinting about the back porch. There's something new coming. I'm in the process of getting my website set up. And that's another reason for my not so perfect day today. I sent out my email. I don't know if you're on my email list, but I sent out my email today, which was so good. I hope that you're on my list because I was teaching you something. Let me know. Did you get my email? Because some people are wanting my email now that I sent it out. And now I realize it's not working on my website, on my old website, because we just hooked up my email system to my new website so that it's ready, which I thought it was on both, but now it's not working on either one. So you can't sign up. You can't sign up, and that's not good because I have people who are wanting to sign up, and I can't even figure out how to send it to them all by themselves without signing up. So I worked all day long on that. Not even kidding. When I wasn't doing whatnot, I was working on that. Oh, you didn't? Oh, Tara. It's coming. All right. So we're going to go in with a not so big brush, but not so tiny brush. And we're going to trim out these windows in white. And we're not going to be so picky about them. Oh, excellent, Elaine. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, Wilson just made me a fresh drink, April, so let me grab that. If you didn't get it, hopefully I'll be able to fix my email issue. Oh, no.
Figured out who was know.
All right, Lisa, I will. Check your spam, guys. Check your spam. That's another thing I got to figure out, how to keep it out of people's spam. We're going to put some grids in here. The old farmhouse and the grids. All right. I think the house is pretty much done. Now we're going to do the fun part. So if you want to get on my email list, when I have it figured out, send me either a Facebook message or an email giving me your email address, and I'll add you as soon as I can figure out how to do that. I did have a nice birthday. Wilson spoiled me. This is what we did. We went to It's a local tavern. We call them taverns, bar, pubs. We had a couple drinks, and then he took me for a burger and French fries. And then we got to go home, and I sat on the couch and we watched some kind of show. But I had the fireplace on and my blanket covering me up. It was the perfect birthday. Just what I wanted to do. Yeah, me too, Elaine. Me too. Okay, we're going to get to the flower part. Here's the hollyhocks. I was in a garden tour one year and I had a ton of hollyhocks. So we're going to quickly paint them. I got to wash out my liner brush.
Yeah, but you laid me had a porch. No, we don't have.
Yeah, when we moved here 40 some years ago, we had that porch right there, that exact one. And we took it off and added on to the house. Silliness. Claudio? Yes. Okay. That'd be perfect, Tara. That'd be perfect. Because I added one person and then I couldn't add anyone else because I'm like, what did I just do that I can't remember? Okay, we're gonna mix a green. Because we're already used blue iris on here. I'm gonna move you in. We already used blue iris on here and we used liquid sunshine. So yellow. Here's a color wheel lesson for you. Yellow and blue.
Make purple.
Make green.
Oh.
So we're gonna mix those up. Elaine, that's when we came home from your house after it had snowed, and the snowstorm twisted the light bulb right out of the front porch. That's how windy it was. Okay, so we got a green out of that. I really want it to be a bit on the lighter side, so we're going to add some white. All right. So when you're using the same colors in to mix your paint, your tones are going to match versus going and grabbing a green that has the wrong tone. So this green that I made is the same tones as the blue iris I used and the yellow I used. So it's going to match. So if you have the opportunity to mix some colors, that's a good option to use. So we're going to use some of this dark and we're just going to scribble with our paintbrush. Look at how far back I'm holding my paintbrush, way back here. And we're going to make the look of leaves. No, I didn't do it in the windows.
Oh.
No. And then I ran out. I need more, a little bit more blue, a little bit more yellow, too blue, add more yellow, and a little bit of white. Blue and red to make purple. Here, we need a color lesson. So that's also coming. My arts camp, which is going to include a lot of color wheel lessons. In my email today, I gave you a fun color wheel lesson. Just a little tip and trick. Okay, we don't want to cover up all of that, but now I want more of a yellow green. So we're going to add more yellow to that mixture. So it's a more limey green. And then I'm going to flatten my brush out, and I'm going to add my hollyhock. Hollyhocks are really tall. And then there's also some short ones. And then we're going to add a little bit of the white. I want that a little bit whiter. This is a sketchbook painting, guys. It's all really fast and very sloppy. And then to add some of that look, we're going over here with a few marks. And then going back into that dark, that yellow or green color, we're going to make some leaves here. And when they're in the front, they're really big. They're at the front of the camera, and then they get smaller the further back they go. Just kind of bringing that color in everywhere. Okay, now I need my really small brush. Aw, so sweet. So we're going to have, I don't have many comments from YouTube. Oh, Michelle said we're going to look at them quick. I got your email today and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Excellent. I'm glad that you got it. It's good. And Gert says, looks great. All right. And Wilson's been reading the rest of them. So for those hollyhocks, I got to get my reference picture here of my hollyhock. Some of those little things up here are not blooming yet. So there's a few of those balls not open. So we're going to just add a couple of those in with some little paint blobs. And it looks like I put one over here. So we're going to go with it. I put a really, this one, he got out of hand. And maybe this guy over here. He needs a big leaf. Okay. Now, if you read my email today, if you use white paint before your painterly colors, they're going to stand out so much more. So we're going in with straight white, and I'm making circles. That's all I'm doing, is making fun circles. And the ones at the top are going to be smaller. And they're going to be in front of the stem, on side of the stem. There's a big leaf here, so we're going to put this big flower right there. And then just putting in some little dips and dabs. There's going to be a big one right here. And then maybe a smaller one there. One up here at the top. Little dips and dabs. And then these, oh, there's one over here, remember? Those are a couple strays. They strayed out of the hollyhock patch. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that doesn't look very good, does it, guys? Now we're going to use love language. And we're going to use Old Flame, which is a pink and a corally orange color. I'm mixing a little bit of the pink in with my corally orange. I'm not crazy about the corally orange color for hollyhocks. I would rather it have a little of the pink. So this is how, wow, that's a angry woodpecker. Yeah. So all you're doing with the yellow or the white is you're going over with the color, because then the color stands out so much more. So we're adding some of that orangey pink to all the different flowers, but not all of them. And then we're going to add some dips and dabs here. And we got to add some of those little dabs here. And now we're going to switch to the pink. So those are kind of orangey. And now we're going to go in with just the pink. This is love language. So now this pink really looks a little on the purple side now that we mixed that Old Flame with the love language. See how you can definitely do this, because I'm not doing anything special. I'm just painting circles everywhere. And that now the magic will happen in a minute here. Got to make sure all my white blobs are filled in. Okay, now I'm going to go back to white. while my paint is still wet, and I'm going to hit the edges of them, leaving that center dark. And you want to make sure that you don't have the centers of the flowers each in the very center, because it'll tip their heads depending on how you do it, how you make the center, it'll tip their head around. See how they're changing on that side? And these are just little hints of color down here on the bottom. They're probably not hollyhocks down there. Hollyhocks don't grow that low. But here's one. Oh, I forgot that one up there. We'll get him in a minute. Move you closer. Okay, so here's one. It's just a solid blob. So now if I go around it like that, it turned into a flower. Or your mind tells you it's a flower, even though it's still just a blob of paint. Okay, we got to get this one up here. And sometimes if you missed the opening, like you made it too dark, you can go back and add a little bit of darkness. And a little bit more white for this one right here. If you come back in with more white, you're adding just another layer to them. And we're going to call this done. All we have to do is sign it. What do you think? We could very well do this. This will give you more images of flowers, because we're going to do some splatter by the flower. Some of this pinky color. Oh, my internet is going crazy.
Beautiful, lovely technique.
Oh. Yeah. So this is definitely a sketchbook painting. So those that are wanting to put something into their sketchbook. Thank you, April. All right, so that helped it a little bit. It gave it some more splatter, some more color on it. Thank you, Lisa. Let me clean up my paint here so I don't spill it. It's time for a DIY. I heard April say that. All right, let's see if we have any YouTube comments. So Gert says it's looking great. Wilson was reading the Facebook ones. Gert says DIY. Thanks, Gert. Dee says I'm late, but I'm here. Welcome, Dee. You'll have to go back and watch the replay if you want to make this. She's in Chandler, Arizona. Theater painting is so cute. Thank you. And Gert says, beautiful DIY. Thank you so much, Gert. Michelle says, very pretty. And Wilson read the rest of them. So let's unhook this camera. Thanks, Carol. So there we are. Isn't that fun? Does that just not make you want an old farmhouse with a front porch?
Yep,
We had one. It looked like this. It wasn't yellow, but it looked like that. It's so cute, guys.
I think we had yellow windows.
Oh, we had yellow windows?
I just found our picture up there. I think it was white or yellow windows.
Oh, okay.
Yellow trim.
And we definitely had hollyhocks. So
CNC, very pretty.
thank you, Cindy. All right, that was quick. See, I am on time tonight. Tara says, yes, excellent. And Gert says, love old farmhouses. That's what we have, Gert. We have an old farmhouse.
Minus the porch.
Minus the porch. We did have one. It looked just like this. It seriously looked like this. And then I can tell you what we did to it. So did we take the porch off first?
No.
We put the
Never.
garage. No, we,
Never took the porch
yeah,
off.
but did we do something to the porch or the garage first? What was first? I think the porch was
I
first.
think the porch.
So when we had child number 3, this small little house was getting too small for us. So we took this porch right here and we made it into living quarters. So we enclosed, thank you. We enclosed all that and it's now a entrance and more living room. And then on backside of this, like this is our kitchen right here. On the backside here, we added on a 2-car garage. So after we were adding on the 2-car garage, then my sister from Illinois comes over to visit while they were putting up the rafters and said, why didn't you make the garage 2 stories? Genius. I told him to stop. Let's do it over. We didn't. But so that was kind of our house when we first moved here. So that's kind of fun. This was my 20-minute sketch. And this was an hour. So look at that. How fun are them? Okay, I have a few more comments from YouTube. Dee says, so cute. Patty says, loving how it came to life. Thank you, Patty. Gert says, nice. And Sheila says, I'll have to catch the replay. And Gert says, fun. Yeah, it's been a challenge. 40 years living in this house. It's changed a lot, let me tell you. A bedroom has now become our bathroom because our bathroom was part of the kitchen because they had an outhouse. So we had to, they just took a chunk of the kitchen and put a toilet and a standing shower in it and took a shower curtain door. And that's all there was on the bathroom when we bought the place. Yeah. It's gone through a lot. Okay, that's enough reminiscing. Thanks everyone for watching. I will post this because it is really cute. I might have to hang this up in my house. I don't know that I have any room for it, but we'll find room. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Marla says, love it, so cute. Thank you, Marla. And Sheila says, beautiful. Thank you, guys. If you didn't get my email, send me an email at info@thepaintedphotographer.com and I'll add you to the list. Tara's going to help me with that. And then you'll get the email for how I painted this. It's a step-by-step tutorial so that you can paint it yourself. Okay, and a little bit of a color wheel tutorial in there. All right, everyone, have a good night. And until next time, happy painting.